Hello and welcome. You've asked for it, I'm delivering it. I actually won this car with 0 upgrades, so I've already spent $801,200 since I won the car. That got me to where I had to spend gold, so here I'm spending another $2.5 million and 1,860 gold. Total full upgrade cost, $3,303,400, 1,860 gold. And here's the final countdown until I can actually start the race. And so I never do this type of thing without a sale. Well, I am, because you guys have asked me for it several times, and I thought, you know what? I got all this gold. I should start spending it and start enjoying some of these cars. Okay, so this is in the exclusive series, Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course. I have done this before as an endless endurance race in several cars. Usually it has to be really fast cars. And this is a really fast car. So, off the start, I'll take that cut every single time, and then I'll take one other cut. So we're going to take 2 cuts per lap to hit the Perpetual point, and we'll kind of evaluate it after that. This car, my goodness, it's actually a ridiculously amazing car when you fully upgrade it. Like, it doesn't feel so unbalanced. You still spend a lot of time on the brakes, but there's a way around that. This last corner, it's taken me a little while to dial it in. I shouldn't say last corner kind of the road course, because here we are on the speedway. This shocked me, that right here you can stay full throttle through that corner. That's amazed me. Now here's, I'm going to do something controversial, and that is wall braking. Okay, you saw what I did right there? I stuck my nose into the wall. Believe it or not, that doesn't damage your car at all. Now, okay, I better be clear about that. There's 2 types of damage in the game. One type of damage will slow you down during the current race. So if I smack someone right now, I'm going to lower my top speed, increase my acceleration, increase braking distance, and lower my grip. But certain contact only hurts you currency-wise. By that I mean the clean race bonus at the end, which at a race like this really is inconsequential because you're not really giving up that much. You lose currency every time you drive off track. Every time you take 2 tires off track, you're going to lose a little bit of currency. Now this car is interesting when you nick a wall. It really wags. So here I'm trying to not wall brake, and I'm deciding, you know what? I felt like way too long being on the brakes. Now, maybe it's beneficial, but I'm going to go back to wall braking. So wall braking is when you start your braking point quite late and you turn into the wall a little bit and then turn out of the wall before you're coming to a complete stop. So you can really increase your decrease your braking distance. There we go, that's nice. Now I was amazed that they're allowing drafting in this event. I understood from the Fire Monkeys that they were only allowing drafting in cars that appear in motorsports. Oh, I better make sure I'm concentrating here. Pass this guy and get into the wall, and then, oh no, I'm turning too much. Okay, well, that's where wall braking goes wrong when you're trying to avoid damage and you end up doing a complete spin. Oh well. So, yeah, drafting in this particular series surprised me. Now, maybe it's because it's in the exclusive series, but there's other exclusive series that don't have drafting. So, I don't know. What I know is, I really love it. Fastest car in the game, and there's drafting. I mean, come on, man. That's just so totally awesome. All right, let's get back to it. If you go way off track, you can get on the speedway early, but the speed is diminished until a certain point. So it's not worth your while. It's going to increase your lap times. Now, you might think lap times don't matter. They do and they don't in an endurance race. So there I was on there. Oh yeah, I got a boost. I got a boost from a bot. He schmacked me. Now I hope you saw my teaser video, because I got smacked by a ghost so hard and he was almost fully gone when he hit me. So quick little history about ghosts. When I first started playing this game, ghosts just acted normal. You passed a car. When you pass a car, it takes 5 seconds for it to disappear. In the original programming of this game, the ghost would just kind of maintain speed. Then something went wrong with one of the updates. I think it's around update 8.0, but I'm not 100% sure. Right around there, oops, there's a mistake. Right around there, something happened that I have called Ghost Nitro. So when you passed a ghost, suddenly they got really fast. And it would be brutal, because in a car like this, you pass a car and he's got 5 seconds of gaining on you and totally taking you out. Sometimes they would aggressively take you out. So I actually kind of liked it in some ways, but it wasn't the intention. So then they made it so that ghosts stopped dead on the track. They went from like 500 to nothing in a fraction of a second. I did a video on that. It's hilarious. I'll link it right here. I called it Ghost Traps. Finally, what they did is they made it so that ghosts substantially, oh my gosh, not goats. Okay, starting over. I'm gonna keep this on there just so you guys can laugh at me. Ghosts substantially slow when you pass them. However, if you pass a ghost when he's got a head full of steam heading for a corner, he won't slow down and he won't even hit the brakes. He'll just boom, plow into you. So I had a horrendous crash in my teaser video, and you're gonna see it. It's gonna happen a few more times here. So let's get on to some of the things here. So here's a nice big cut. There's 2 ways you could be taking this. I'm choosing this big arcing cut. There's a big reason for that. Oh, nuts, they didn't do that right. Next lap, I'm gonna talk about that again, because we're just a little bit away from the Perpetual point. Oh, actually, we're not very far. The Perpetual point is not a fixed point on the track. The Perpetual point happens once you have passed 42 cars. So that's why the Perpetual point isn't at every track, and it's not a fixed point on the track. And if you try this, you might say to me, oh, I drove really, really far and never got to the Perpetual point. That's because you didn't pass 42 cars. And you got to pass them as fast as you can, because the cars keep getting harder and harder and harder. And I'm going to stop that right now. Okay, so coming up here, there's 2 ways you can take this cut. You can cut early, like start cutting now, but then you go through, you can catch the track a little bit more. You won't spend as much time off track, but you have more of a chance of getting tangled up with a bob, and I don't want to experience that. So I choose to take the latter cut, later. So I get a little bit more speed when I go off track, and I just have to control that left-hand turn. I get off the gas right away for that. Okay, so I say so a lot. You ever notice that? It's my transitional thing. So. This is, now I've hit the Perpetual point. You can tell because the cars are getting more and more spaced out. Suddenly they're close together. And they can get closer and closer yet. So I mentioned lap times. The faster your lap times are back to back, so lap after lap after lap, the closer the bots will get. So look at this. This is pretty close. It gets closer than this yet. Inversely, if you start having slower lap times, they'll get spaced out, but once you've hit the Perpetual point, you're there. So if I have a horrible crash, once I catch up to the bots, they're all there. So if you're finding the traffic is too close together, you could space it out a little bit by slowing down just a pinch. So right here, I'm not taking that first cut. I don't think I really need to, honestly, but there's a kind of a catch-22. When I don't take that first cut, like that time I was going so slow, I might as well log. Oh, didn't need to do that. You're gonna see me checking my windshield once in a while here, but anyway, since I'd slowed down so much, there's no use going off track, because I'm not starting cracked. Going off track is just gonna slow me down more, but if I got a big head of steam, I'll take the cut. Oh, and another big smack, nuts-a-roni. I like this green car, but it looks horrible with the blue interior, so good thing I don't use Pilot View very much, or that would really drive me crazy. I've got a special flame job on this car, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how I did that at the end of this video. Really, really quick. But, because you can't do flames, really cool flame jobs, you need Halloween vinyls. And I've got a playlist on that. Not a lot of people seem to like flames anymore, but I guess I'm like an old school kind of, I don't know, it's like a Canadian-American thing maybe, having like really cool flames in your cars. I don't know. If you're from another country and you like flames in your cars, if you're from a country other than Canada, the United States, let me know. I will throw up that link though. Okay, so it looked like I lost the Perpetual point, but see how they're a little more spaced out than they were? That's because I had kind of some not so good laps. But you watch what happens. They're gonna get closer together. Now, this car is stinking fast, man. Like, I'm really liking this car. So I might give this more of a try. Like, the challenge was, people have been asking me, please show me if there's any endless endurance races. Whoa! And then I got passed back. He was on the brakes a bit, but still, not that much. And I'm going to get a little bit rough and tough with these guys. Once you get maximum damage on your car, you can't get any worse. There's only 2 levels of damage in this game, and I have done a video about this. I'll throw up a link here. So I talk about how damage affects you in the race and after the race. I talk about the 2 different levels of damage. There's just stage 1 and stage 2. Look at this, they're already closer. Oh my gosh, they're a lot closer. So once you get stage 2 damage, you can't get any more damaged. Here, I'm gonna give you a hood view for a bit. I'm gonna challenge myself and try to do it. This looks so cool. So if you have stage 2 damage and you wanna hit somebody, go ahead. Who cares? What's gonna hurt you? Woo! So I can hit this guy. Oh, I'm gonna get hit. Oh, that's hilarious. And I didn't go off track very much. Oh, well, okay. I went off track a few times there. Took me a while to figure out the braking points in this car. But it's kind of fairly standard braking points for these really fast cars. So I'm comparing this to like Koenigsegg's, Hennessy Venoms, although I'm not a big fan of the Venoms. The F5 was okay. But I kind of like the Koenigsegg's, because you often get a little more balance out of the Koenigsegg's. What I mean is that it's not just all straight line speed. You get some grip in a lot of the Koenigsegg's. And same with the Bugattis. A lot of the Bugattis was like straight line speed, but this one is so cool because they really tried to make more of a race car out of this one. And this one has nice grip. I actually really like this car. So you know what, guys? Thank you for the pressure to fully upgrade. As far as these type of cars go, I didn't actually find it overly expensive for what I'm getting out of it. And I mean, what do I need 5 figures of gold for? Like, I'll be back over 10,000 probably fairly soon, unless I get in a little bit of a spending spree, which I haven't done that for a while. I like having a huge amount for, if there's certain sales that happen, I'll just spend. But there was one time where I think I spent about 7,000 gold in a week because there's all these sales that came on. Anyhow, really, really cool car. I love staying full throttle through this, and the bots always brake a little bit, not much though. So you can see how early he gets on the brakes by the very fact that I'm going to pass him before I start my wall braking. Wall brake a little bit, so I'm starting to figure out that I don't need to wall brake near as much as I was. Whoa, smash! If you hit someone when you're doing a different speed in this car, you should expect it to throw you off wildly. That's exactly what would happen in real life. Real life, you hit someone that hard, you're not driving away from it. Your car will be totaled. So, yeah. Some people complain about the physics of crashes, but, or I shouldn't say the physics of crashes, just the impact of crashes, meaning that you get really damaged, but in real life, there's no way we'd be driving away from the majority of what happens. And that's also what people complain about, but hey, you know, I like that we can keep on racing. It's a racing game. So we're going to take this to 100 kilometers, and I'm going to end the race right there, like a freeze frame. I got another huge boost. Thank you, Ghost. I'll do a freeze frame at 100 kilometers because it gives us a decent mark to figure out fame per minute. That's the most important number when you're doing farming races. I did something with this race that I haven't done for a long time, and that is I didn't do any research. I just hopped in the car to see if it was even possible. So you're witnessing my 3rd version of this race. First version, I hit the Perpetual point the very first time, but it was really sloppy, and it wasn't worth even recording it. I did record it, but I just erased it. Second race, I fully recorded, and that's where I made my teaser video off of that one. But again, I thought it wasn't good enough. It wasn't giving me good fame per minute numbers because I was just too sloppy. There we go, not bad. I'll stay on track this time mostly. There we go. So this one I felt, you know, this is a decent representation of fame per minute. So I decided I'll keep this one and publish this. I still haven't done the math. So what you'll see at the end of this video is I'm going to list my end point and my start point. Now I do remember that my start point, meaning the green light, was at 46 seconds. 100 kilometers is when we're going to call the end of the race, and I'll let you see the rest of it, but I'm just going to speed it up a huge amount while I sit on track winding down my clock. Now that sucks. Right there, that mistake that's the most costly place on the whole lap, because at that point I should be full throttle. So that really cost me. I might still hit 500 km here. Let's see. Nope, I didn't get there before I had slammed it into the wall a bit. Okay. So it cost me, but you know what? You're seeing I'm having no trouble filling my clock, and I was having trouble my first 2 attempts at this race. I was having trouble filling my clock. I wonder what my average lap time is. I actually haven't checked that. I'm going to collect that information and post that at the end. Oh! That was a big hit. Doesn't matter anymore. I've got maximum damage. No, get back on track. That's a horrible place for that. I got to stop trying to do pilot view like that. I kind of want to do that because some guys, they insist, oh, you have to do pilot view. And I try it sometimes. Oh, I'm horrible at it. I think I might be better if it was a bigger device maybe, or if I had a proper sim setup, like some rounded screens. Oh, that was kind of early, wasn't it? Oh, okay, get away from the wall. Okay, don't want to get tangled up in that wall. That wall's got a big curve to it. I used to try doing a huge slide. So I'd slide it and pitch my car to the right, scoop around that wall, and then go off track a little bit. But you end up wasting time because that wall scoops you away from the track. So I don't do that maneuver anymore. I get off the wall before I have to do my cut. Now let's see if I can do this. Oh, lost a little bit of traction, so I'm gonna lose the draft. Boy, let's go way up here. Oh, that was not good. And then it wags. Oh, and then again, and then again. Oh, come on. This car is wagging. Like, anytime you clip a wall in a car, it's gonna shake you back and forth a little bit after you hit the wall. In this car, it feels like it takes so long because it's just so stinking fast. I love this car so far. Now that I've figured out how to do this race, I will be on the hunt for other endurance races. Again, I don't know how profitable this is yet. I didn't do the math. So I'm gonna have to do the math. Once we get to the end of the video, I'll do the math and then finish the recording. So here I'm taking a slightly bit of a different cut. I thought I'd give it a try. It's interesting, you know? You way more chance of getting tangled up in a bot doing it that way because you're cutting through traffic, and that's pretty dangerous. So here we are in the speedway section. Let's see if I can hit 500. I didn't have a great entrance. With all this damage, it's easy to hit 500 without the damage. I think if I had no damage, I think if I got onto the speedway properly, I'd still be hitting 500 every single time. Let's check that out. Let's pay attention to that. And I'm not going to figure out what my best lap time was. I'll just do my average lap time. Because, yeah, I'll do that at the end. That'll be interesting to find out what my average lap time is. Of course, this is the more big cut, you see? Get tangled up with him. I don't like this cut, so I'm going to go back to my old cut here. Oh, that was a better entrance, a little bit of drafting. Oh yeah, I'm going to hit over 500 this time. No, as long as I don't hit those walls, right? You don't even have to get too far up to the wall to stay full throttle here. Nice, let the car wash up a little bit, let it take you. Come on, let's see that 500, baby. 500, woohoo! And smoke him, and off we go to the races. What am I saying off to the races? I am in a race, come on. Okay, well, hopefully you found this somewhat entertaining. Another thing I'm going to throw at the end of this video is the Bugatti Bolide playlist. Of course, by now, you can't go do that event again, but at some point, there's probably going to be a flashback event. I'm sure this is going to be a highly requested event, and this might be a race people are checking out, so I'll throw that playlist link there just so that it's always there, and people can see it, because it's possible to do this with 0 upgrades. You need to be pretty good at this game to pull that off. There were 2 races on the very last stage, like stage 5. There were 2 races that were really difficult. But I will tell you, because I've interacted with a lot of people over this, a lot of people finished this with just R upgrades. So that means it's still a gold positive event, which is very rare in this game. So people with just, more intermediate or average abilities still won this car without spending any gold, and they attributed my videos with helping them. So that's something to be really proud of. Anytime you don't have to spend gold to win a car, that's something to be pretty proud of. So there we go, I'm getting in there nicely. You can see he was substantially slowing down. We're certainly going to see this thing go over 500 again. Pilot view, let's give it a shot, see if I can stay off the wall. Can I keep it going? Oh, this makes me so nervous. Okay. 500, baby. Woohoo! Oh, I'm gonna hit the wall. Nuts. I didn't stay on the wall long enough. I didn't do my wall breaking for long enough. Now, what's very interesting is just to prove the point about wall breaking. So not in a time trial, not in a weekly time trial, but in regular time trials. So I'm talking about you're in a motorsports or road collection time trial. You can hit walls if you do it just right. So just right is you nick a wall with your front end before you pitch it with your back end. It's kind of an interesting trick. You can make contact with walls during regular time trials and not get disqualified. Now, they redid time trials years ago. It actually drives me crazy because even Lewis Hamilton said that nicking walls is part of racing, and we don't have that ability in this game in time trials. Oh gosh, that was violent, wasn't it? I shoved one bottom to the other. We can't nick walls during weekly time trials or special time trials because you'll instantly get disqualified. I find that frustrating because not every wall hit is of a benefit. However, there's limitations to what they can do in this game, what the developers can do, and they either had to eliminate wall riding totally, or people would just do it. Now look how close these bots are. That is I've never seen it that close. That's a testimony to how fast I'm running. So anyways, I'll finish my prior statement. I want to say it's Hong Kong. Is it Hong Kong? Let's see if it's Formula E tracks. Yes, it's definitely Hong Kong. You can get away with 3 wall tags, wall breaking and wall... Oh my gosh, that's horrible! Oh, that was horrible! Anyway, Hong Kong, you can get away with wall contact and wall rides 3 times in a regular time trial without getting disqualified if you do it just right. But you can't do it if it's a time trial competition that pays gold. Anyhow, the proof, what I'm trying to prove is it doesn't hurt you, it doesn't damage you if you do it right. Okay, enough of that. If you hit a wall hard enough, though, head on, oh yeah, you can damage your car. In fact, it's hilarious. If you hit walls at a high enough speed, so if you hit a wall head on, going like 400 plus kilometers an hour, it can actually make your rear window explode and not damage the front of your car at all. It's just because the physics just can't make up for that. Okay, we're lap 27, going really, oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be ending the race on this lap, so 27 laps. Let's see how close it gets to being a full lap. If it's close enough, then I'll just call it 27 laps when I end the race. And for me, now that I did this 3 times, I found this easy. The question is it profitable? I didn't hire the agent, I didn't hire the manager because we need core fame per minute numbers. Yeah, what the heck, I'll give you R per minute numbers as well. Some people like to know that. Okay, nearing 100 kilometers. You're going to see a really quick freeze frame at the 100 kilometer mark. Then we'll get into profitability and other stuff. All right, so here's a quick freeze frame. 22:56, we're going to call the end. And I went a little bit over, so I'm going to give some back, because when you drive the wrong way, you actually give back R in fame earnings, and I want really accurate numbers. So look at the damage. This is always hilarious to me. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, let's get into the profitability of this. First thing we need is the actual race time. So from the green light until I reached 100 kilometers was 22 minutes and 10 seconds. Now, based on that, we can figure out everything else. Like, fame per minute is 1,007. That's really good, actually. So if I did this exact same race with the agent hired on 100% bonus fame day, I would have earned 89,280 fame. That's awesome. R dollars per minute, 6,270. If I ran this with a manager hired on 180% bonus R day, I would have got 778,316 R. That's pretty awesome. Average lap time, 49.25 seconds. And I know I didn't quite finish 27 laps, but also I started from a dead stop and had some mistakes. Bear in mind, fame per minute and R per minute earnings will change depending on how much off track you do and how fast you are. And we'll just let this video close out with me showing you how I got those flames, using the sponsor tag and then kind of covering up the words. So please like, please subscribe. Some of the links have been popping up here that I talked about adding, and I hope you have some fun and you're a Bugatti Bolide. Race you later.